What's good, YouTube? Macex back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at the top 10 2025 NFL Draft running back rankings. So yes, every running back on this list will be eligible for the 2025 draft. You can call it a way too early, but in my world, there is no such thing as way too early. And today we got a nice little list. Now the list is according to Pro Football Network. So some of these guys I watched a lot of plays and kind of scouted to an extent, and then there's others that I have a lot of work to do. So this is their list who are eligible for the 2025 draft. Now we're going to go ahead and dive right into that. But before we do so, definitely go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're new to the channel. Odds are you are a football fan because you clicked on this video. Let's just keep it real. This helps the channel grow. We're on the road to 1K, so you doing so will help the channel grow, and at the end of the day, I'll deeply appreciate it. But enough with all that. Let's go ahead and look at these top 10 running backs. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start at number 10, and we got Devin Neal out of Kansas, listed at 5'11", 208 pounds. Now, Devin Neal is someone I thought was going to declare last year in the draft, decided to come back for another year at Kansas, maybe improve upon his weaknesses and whatnot, maybe receiving capability, but he's very explosive, good size, plays a lot bigger than 208, his listed weight, always falls forward, really good contact balance in my eyes. Last year, excellent on the ground, 1,280 yards, 16 scores. A lot of people thought he was going to declare. I'll be curious to see how he does this year, senior year, and if he can improve upon what he did last year, which was already very impressive. At number 9, we have Nicholas Singleton out of Penn State. Nicholas Singleton, highly touted coming out of high school. I remember hearing about him, 24/7 Sports. Definitely thought he'd be that next great Penn State running back. And he started off with a bang. I mean, over 1,000 yards as a true freshman, just a few months out of high school. Sophomore slump last year, efficiency wasn't really there. But Penn State as a whole, the offense took a hit. Always factor that in, just the overall team efficiency when I'm looking at that. But he did show improvement in the receiving game, 26 catches last year. He's a big-bodied running back, 6 foot 224, which is always intriguing with the size and the athleticism that he does possess. A high potential guy, really young, only 752 yards and 8 scores on the ground. I'm sure he's looking to improve that in his true junior year. But he's one of my favorite running backs of this group because I feel that his ceiling is just so high, you can't pass that up. Next on the list at number 8, we have Damian Martinez. Damian Martinez recently transferred to the U. The U is looking to have an explosive offense this year. Last year, excellent at Oregon State with 1,185 yards and 9 scores on the ground. Like, I really think Miami may be a team to watch out for as an eligible playoff team. That'll only put more eyes on Damian Martinez. Last year, over 6 yards a carry. Even as a true freshman, 6 yards a carry. Very efficient. Not much of a receiving threat. He's a ground and pound type of running back. So he will have a role in the NFL, especially if he has a really good year this year. But man, he can run that ball. He's very physical. He's not a burner by any stretch, but at 230 pounds plus, you have to also factor that in. But he's one of the more intriguing running backs, and I definitely think he's going to make some noise and be more of a household name in his junior year. All right, at number 7, we got Jaden Ott out of California. Now, Jaden Ott is someone that I want to watch a little bit more of. As a true freshman, for example, he had 46 catches, which that's elite for a running back in any college football system. Got more of the load as a sophomore and was a true workhorse. I mean, over 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns running the ball. California is not a school that I've really watched too much of, but just the buzz and a lot of the scouting reports that I have read, I am pretty excited to watch over him the next couple months and watch his 24 season. Coming in number 6, we have Trevor Etienne, now at Georgia, first 2 years at the University of Florida. Now, Trevor Etienne, yes, he is the brother of former first-round pick and starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Etienne. He's a much different build, 5'9", 217, a lot shorter but more compact than his brother. I think he's a really good running back, blends speed, good contact balance, toughness. Now, sophomore year, you can definitely give him the sophomore slump label, but to add context, the entire Florida offense was a travesty last year. The entire offense was very inefficient. transferring to Georgia now, where he, in my opinion, will most likely be the guy in his true junior year. I expect him to really break out. Much better offense, quarterback play, offensive line, play calling, you name it. I'm really expecting Trevor Etienne to burst into the scenes and really solidify his spot in the NFL as a legitimate NFL prospect. Now we're moving into the top 5 for the running backs. Once again, as a reminder, this is Pro Football Network's top 10 list. Ashton Jeanty, running back out of Boise State, listed at 5'9", 210 pounds. Now, Jeanty is not a household name. Boise State obviously is not what they used to be in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, but Jeanty is an NFL prospect. And I do think that more people will know this name at some point in the 24 season. Like I said, it's been a while since Boise State's had a notable NFL prospect, especially at the skill position, but he can really run the ball, over 1,300 yards rushing, and he has the skill set overall, just from what I've seen, that he could very easily be the first or second running back getting his name called in the NFL draft next year. Be on the lookout for Ashton Jeanty. Number 4 running back is Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. Former 4-star running back. He's one of my favorite running backs in the entire class, and he has the potential in his true junior year to be the first running back getting his name called next April. Last year, 1,248 yards, 15 rushing touchdowns, and almost 7 yards a carry. With Drake May, Tez Walker now leaving the program, Omarion Hampton's going to be the face of the university. North Carolina's going to rely very heavily on him. Last year already was 5th in the nation in rushing yards and rushing yards per game. He's going to be a workhorse this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if he leads the nation in rushing yards and rushing yards per game. We're now in the top 3, and at number 3 we got Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. Listed at 5'10", 213 pounds. Travion Henderson is probably the most popular running back that's going to be on this list, and that's because he had a very historic freshman year out the gate as an 18-year-old. Over 1,200 yards, 15 rushing touchdowns on 7 yards a carry. When you're 18 in the Big Ten, you're going to have some very high expectations. Now, sophomore and junior year has been overwhelming. Sophomore year was plagued by injuries. Junior year was definitely an improvement, but not like his freshman year. So the expectation, he really set the bar very high. I think this year, in a better offense, better quarterback play, and also he'll be sharing the load with another running back on this list, which I think will improve his overall efficiency. But I'm really rooting for him because, man, 2 years ago, I myself and a lot of people was shooing him in as a first-round pick in the 2024 draft. So in his true junior year, I'm looking forward to seeing how he bounces back from 2 underwhelming seasons, and hopefully he can get that buzz and hype going into the draft next year. All right, at number 2, Pro Football Network has Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State, listed at 6'1", 211 pounds. Dominated last year as a true sophomore, over 1,700 yards, 21 rushing touchdowns on 6 yards per carry. The man honestly couldn't be stopped in his true sophomore year, in which he burst into the scene. Doak Walker Award winner, Big 12 Player of the Year. So number 2 on this list, but for a lot of people, he's going to be the number 1 running back, especially if he follows it up with another really good year for Oklahoma State. He honestly can do it all. Vision, contact, balance, really great acceleration once he plants his foot and finds that hole. The only nitpick that I have, he doesn't have the top end speed or that next gear once he gets to the second level. A lot of plays I did see him get caught from behind, but the numbers don't lie in his case. The film doesn't lie. This is an NFL caliber running back. Could potentially be a day 1 pick. All right, and the number 1 running back, according to Pro Football Network, is Quinshon Judkins, now at Ohio State. Transfer from Ole Miss, 3-star recruit. You can basically say he took Zach Evans' spot, who was supposed to be the workhorse at Ole Miss, but Quinshon Judkins was just too good to not have the ball in his hands as a true freshman. True freshman year, over 1,600 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, had a lot of expectations going to his sophomore year. The efficiency wasn't there, but a common theme with a lot of running backs, especially even on this list, is that just the offense really took a few steps back, and that definitely took a toll. But even with that, he still had 1,200 yards, which is some of the best numbers for a running back in the nation last year. So I think him and Travion Henderson sharing that backfield, this is going to be the most dangerous running back duo in all of college football, and honestly that we've seen in a very long time. Ohio State running the ball is going to be very scary. Quinshon Judkins has everything you need. Vision, he can catch the ball, he has speed, he can definitely take it to the house on any given carry, and he's just very exciting to watch. So he's also my number one running back at this particular moment. I think he has the skills, the talent, the potential to be a day one pick. I expect him to be either the first or second running back to be called next April, if we're going to be honest. And I'm looking very forward to watching Ohio State as a whole with this duo. All right, so that is Pro Football Network's top 10 running back list for the 2025 draft. As I mentioned earlier, it's never too early to start speculating and looking ahead to the future. Running backs is definitely my favorite position, so it's always fun scouting and watching these guys ball out on the field. If you made it this far in the video, I deeply appreciate it. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to this video as it helps the channel grow. More videos are coming, even during this dead period. We got college football season about 2 months and some change away. I know if you're a college football fan like myself, you're excited and you're counting down by the days. But all in all, appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.